Hi, incredible community and amazing, incredible friends. So, guys, I have an announcement to make today, which is kind of scary, kind of exciting. It's all kind of happening in my life at the moment. And what I know that a few of people have been asking me how I am, where I am, what I'm doing. And so this video is really to start to announce what my next journey in life actually is going to be. So, I would say about a year ago, guys, so many of you know that I'm in the corporate world, and about a year ago I started to really feel uncomfortable in my skin. I couldn't really understand why, but I felt like what I was doing wasn't me. And it was a little bit under a year ago that I started the Exceptional Sisters community, because I felt like that was a way that I could help to express myself when finding myself in a situation where perhaps I wasn't allowing myself to be my authentic self and take myself forward to the world. And I was in the corporate world, and my job was great. I mean, the people that I work with were great. I was able to do my job very well. I was given the autonomy to create new ideas, to do things for women, which was something that many of you know is something that is extremely close to my heart. And so at that point, I felt discomfort. But I decided to stay where I was, and actually I felt so much discomfort a year ago that I actually told myself it was time to leave and that it would be okay. And I actually wrote notes to myself and put them around my house telling myself I needed to go and that it would be better on the other side. But in the end, I didn't go anywhere. I had the fear of leaving a situation and a life that I had built over 15 years that I knew so well. And so I stayed. And I guess it would be like staying in a relationship that you know isn't serving you anymore, but it's too scary, the idea of what's on the other side, and perhaps the fear of regretting leaving that situation kind of holds you back. So the problem was that last March, I started to feel this discomfort again, and it was just really uncomfortable, and I didn't really know what to do about it. And it almost felt like I was wearing the wrong clothes. It felt like I was wearing the wrong clothes every day. And so around May, I actually went to Israel for 10 days, and I think that really allowed for me to get some a completely different perspective in a different world, and really just take time away from my life in Asia. And at that point, I realized, when I was sitting on a sun lounger with a very good friend of mine after 10 days, that it wasn't the life I wanted anymore. It just wasn't the life I wanted anymore. It wasn't the environment that was supporting me anymore. I felt like amazing people, was working with amazing people, but at the same time, it wasn't an environment that was me. I wasn't being me. And if I can be honest, for the last 5 years, what I've done with my spare time and my annual leave is actually just become a certified intuitive guide, become a Reiki healer, become a raw food chef. So for me, I was really starting to morph into something a little bit different than marketing, communications, in financial services. So anyway, came back from that trip, and I left that Saturday night and flew back on the Sunday, got back to Hong Kong on the Sunday. And on the Monday afternoon, the CEO of my company actually called me to his office and informed me that my role had been made redundant and no longer exists. And at that point, I just remember looking at him and thinking, I said, okay. And then he looked at me and he was like, have you got any questions for me? And I was like, no. He's like, should I go get HR? And so then he did. And I think the reason why that was because also, like, a year ago, I emotionally left. I certainly gave my 100% from an effort standpoint, but my heart was gone. And I went through these difficult, uncomfortable moments a year ago, but I didn't end up going anywhere. So when this news came, I decided, I'd already kind of done this a year ago, but it just was kind of in my head, and it actually didn't happen, and it wasn't a redundancy. So now what is the question, I guess. I find myself in a situation where I don't want to go back. And if I really tune into it, so the strange thing is, the next day I actually got a call from a recruiter, and she was telling me about a new role that would have sounded like an incredible opportunity if it was something that I wanted to do. But I actually sat and I tuned into the thought of that morning when I would wake up and I would walk to that office, that job, and how I would feel. And it was not a good feeling. It was not a good feeling. I almost felt like I was betraying myself in every way, because that, in essence, I know it's not what I want in my life right now, but if I was going to go and do that, that would almost tell the universe that that was all I was capable of doing. And I just won't let the universe or myself believe that, even though choosing this path brings so much fear and uncertainty. And I think also the other thing that really kept me very honest to this was, many of you know that I've started the Exceptional Existence community, which this post is actually sitting in. And whenever people come to me and tell me that they've been made redundant, I always say to them, congratulations. Congratulations, because you now have the opportunity and some financial support to actually go out and find out who you are. What have you always wanted to do? Go out and do it. And so at that point, I think to myself, I can't not take my own advice. I need to do this. It needs to be done. I need to at least try, even though I'm so scared. I'm so scared. So, and I think the other thing that I wanted to also mention is this idea of the ego. The ego, when you make these decisions to maybe try something new, even if you've been in this situation before and perhaps you think you're going to try something new and then you go to try it and then you're like, oh my God, you start to feel discomfort because your ego pops up and it says, wait a minute, what are you doing? I don't know this world you're trying to take us into, and I've kept us safe in this world by keeping us in what we know. And this thing you're doing, this isn't what we know. And often the emotions and the feelings you will feel are tired, anxious, all kinds of negative emotions. And this is just the ego saying it's trying to keep you where you are, because generally when you feel negative or you feel like tired, you don't want to do things, you don't want to move forward. And so right now I acknowledge all of those feelings because I'm having them. And also I thought, if I'm telling my community to go out and find out who they are and bring that forward to the world, then I need to do that, just that. And I have to give it a go, even through all the uncertainty and the fear. Because there is so much fear and uncertainty. I can tell you guys, I am being completely honest and vulnerable here. It's scary. I ask myself what I'm doing every day, but the thing is, I choose to feel alive and I choose to try this because I have a chance now to do that, and I need to try and bring myself even more authentically forward to the world. I don't know what I'm doing. So, I guess the other thing is, I didn't feel like I was free. I didn't feel like I was free. I was in a great situation, yes, comfortable situation, but was I really free? No. And I guess I have to kind of really focus on the things that I do that make me feel free. And that really is the Exceptional Existence community and also empowering women. This is pumping through my veins and always will be. So for me, this is something I really need to go and explore more. And when I'm doing that, I feel more alive than I've ever felt. I feel more present than I've ever felt. And so I need to tune into that, and I need to own that and be honest to that and do more of that and bring that forward to the world. So what am I going to do? Basically what happened was, once I heard the news, I was living in the most expensive city in the world. So I have some things I want to bring forward to the world. I want to do more women's retreats. I want to do more retreats in general. They are my greatest joy. And there are some other ideas that I want to bring forward to the world that have come to me during my meditation. So I now find myself in Bali. I have, my last day in the office was last Wednesday. I moved out of my apartment the following day, and then by Sunday I had flown out, and I'm now in Bali. So Bali is a very familiar place to me, but I find myself in a place called Canggu, where we're surrounded by a lot of nature. Very important. I need the sea. And also there's a very cool community of people here that really understand the power of nature, the power of the mind, the power of manifestation, but also entrepreneurs. So I'm meeting incredible people every day and just trying to find my way, and I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know where I'm going, but it feels right. It feels like I'm exactly where I need to be, even though I feel so much fear and anxiety and I'm in the unknown. I'm completely in the unknown, and so I'm going to document the journey, because I think that perhaps there are people out there in the world, in this community, that have always wanted to do something with their lives, have always wanted to bring something forward to the world. And as many of you know, the mantra for the exceptional assistance community is that you're here to do something that no one else can, and if you don't do it, it'll never be done. So I'm hoping that my journey will also inspire others that perhaps have been afraid to take the step, or even you don't have to take a huge step where you just relocate in the space of 4 days and try and make something happen of your dreams. But even taking baby steps, because the exceptional assistance community is all about taking baby steps, but as long as you're moving forward in some way. And so I guess documenting this journey, hopefully I will inspire other people to perhaps be brave or fearless or crazy to do the same and follow this path. And I'm here if anyone wants to take that journey and decide to walk that path, because I'll help you to guide you, because I'm perhaps potentially taking a few steps in front of you, and if I'm not, I've just been thinking my head. If I'm not, then I'm here, guys. So I really, I just wanted to, I guess, do this video because I know a lot of people are asking, like, where'd you go, Lou? Are you in Hong Kong? Can we go out? What's going on? Oh my God, what's the update? And so instead of writing it a million times, I thought to do this video. In terms of, I mean, guys, I would love you to come on this journey with me. I don't know what it's going to be. There's no itinerary. If you you can just like the Exceptional Existence page and you can follow all of my posts. If you see me falling into some sort of emotional hole, I would love you to send me some virtual love. And yeah, that's it. If you think that there's somebody also in your community or your friendship circle that needs to hear these messages and follow this journey, then please do share this community with them as well. This community is free, absolutely free, and for everybody. And the more people in it that we can inspire and that can inspire me, the more grateful I will be. And I think the world is just waiting for you to bring your ideas and your dreams forward and to try and to stumble and to fail and to succeed. So I really encourage you all to join me on this journey. And yeah, again, I don't know what it's going to be. I think the only thing I know is that through all the fear and discomfort, I have to do this. And that's all I know. That's honestly all I know. So here I am with no answers and no real idea what I'm doing, but a dream and just a desire to live my life, to really live my life. And I know that the path that I'm about to walk down certainly won't be full of fluffy clouds and great drink stops, but I'm going to walk it anyway. So with that, guys, I'm going to sign off from this post. And again, thank you so much for listening. I know it's been 13 minutes, so I really appreciate your time and for holding this space with me, and I'll keep you posted. And wish me luck. I've got to do this. Don't know what I'm doing, but I know I've got to do it.